Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's a nice day. Look, sunshine. Probably just blinded you. Sorry about that. I am just heading outside to do some work. I thought you might like to come along because I'm planting out irises today. Mainly what I'll be talking about in this video is irises, my new addiction. They're pretty good fun, and I've got some gifted to me by Sharon, but also I found a lot around the house, just around the garden from the house. So I'm going to be planting those out here too, because I figure I may as well use what I have, and I'm expanding the field. So here I've already started digging things up and getting the new beds ready. In the spirit of keeping things authentic, I've tried to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly, as you know. And you know, this week has been tough, and I just sort of thought I'll talk to you a little bit about it, and just it's also been really good, don't get me wrong. There's really good stuff happening too, but I've tried to really share with my journey, and with this whole YouTube channel I've tried to share the progress and the journey so that it encourages and inspires other people who are on the same journey. But I think this can be applied to anyone who's setting up their own business, or a farm-based business anyway. You know, you're going to have highs and lows, and there's going to be things that come along that sort of challenge you, and it can be really good. So I want to keep the positive spin on this. It's not bad. It's just I've had doubts this week. And you know, that's all very normal stuff in business, and especially with doing what I'm doing here with the flower farm. So anyway, let's plant, and I'll talk to you as I plant. Guys, got the irises ready. I've got probably another 60 there to plant out on top of the ones I've already done. Well guys, unfortunately everything I just filmed outside is a total mess because of the wind. So I've come into the hothouse. I've actually been out and done grocery shopping and picked kids up from school. And I'm back. The sound quality was just awful, and I didn't want to ruin your eardrums, so I'm back here. So quick little update, the polytunnel is at a little bit of a standstill. I'll do a proper update in this video. You can catch up on that then. The other things that have been happening family-wise, I do have 3 kids living at home. 2 are adults, and one of my adult kids is experiencing some health issues, some serious health issues actually. So I've had to have him to the hospital a number of times. He's experiencing a very unusual type of glaucoma in his eyes, and that's impacting his sight. He's had 2 lots of surgery on his eyes with laser, and both have been unsuccessful. Yeah, that's quite unfortunate, because now we're having to go down the road of proper surgery which is a bit more in depth, and we have to do that to keep his sight. He's slowly losing his eyesight basically. That's been a pretty big load. And then on top of that, this week I lost a very good and close friend of mine to cancer. The blessing in that is that we had notice, and I was able to say goodbye to her and be able to do that well. But she was a very instrumental part of my journey and my life, and you know, I am who I am today because of those who've journeyed with me. It's been tough. The last few weeks have been really tough, but you know, it's okay. Like, I'm not saying that for sympathy or anything. Actually, I want to say it as an encouragement to other people, because we're all carrying our loads at the moment. And I think on top of that, what I specifically want to talk to everyone about today is what's happening here in Australia. I'm not going to give it much space. When I quit my job last year it was during COVID, and it was risky to say the least, but I felt called to do this. I knew in my heart this was a dream that I really felt I needed to do, and thankfully I've got a great family who've supported me in that, and awesome community. But, you know, there's a lot going on in Australia at the moment, and if you're not up with global politics and global issues at the moment, just search up Australia and all the things that are going on here at the moment. We are facing severe financial stress at the moment, and everyone is going to be impacted. You know, the times ahead are going to be tough for everyone, and that worries me a little bit, whether my little business will make it through. You know, I've just invested money in this polytunnel. We sold our caravan so that I could do that. I've just extended all of my beds, my flower beds. You know, I'm worried about now investing into it if it's not going to even be able to make it through. So there's all these questions going on, and do you know what? Every time I've had a doubt this week, God has brought someone along who has spoken into my life in some way. I know as a small business, you might be feeling the same sort of pressures, and I just really want to say I'm here to cheer you on, and just know that, yeah, if I can do this, anybody can do this, okay? Okay, so today I've got really nice weather again, so I'm kind of trying to get a few things done this week that I'm a bit behind on. Currently in the process of getting irises ready to plant out, which are kind of a new thing for me. I've never grown irises on this level before. There's a few things you do need to know about these guys, and just to get the best performance out of them, the best flowering, and to avoid disease. Not 100% sure what variety they are, but all I know is that they are a type of bearded iris. I'll tell you what though, first things first, I do need to weed. It kind of got a little bit out of control. I'll sort that out and I'll come back. So ideally you want to plant these out during the end of summer and the beginning of autumn. However, I haven't had time to do it, and it's not a problem. Just plant them as soon as you can. So if you get them bare rooted like this, it looks a bit like a prawn actually. I wanted to show you the different parts of the iris, because this is fairly important. This is where you need to understand how to plant them so that they do well and you don't get disease. This bottom part here, like the little prawn legs, and this bulby part, they're called the rhizome. That needs to partially remain above the surface of the soils. It will be really susceptible to disease if you don't. So it likes to have wet feet but dry knees. So I'll show you how we're going to plant them up. What you can see with my flower netting is that's a really good guide for my spacing. So what I want to do is plant my irises in, and then I'm going to leave the rhizome out here like that. So it's partially out like that. I'm going to leave a space, and then I'm going to move into the next one. I have actually soaked these for 24 hours in my lactic acid bacteria. Now that is going to get rid of any pathogens before I actually plant it out. So that's another step that you can take to make sure that you're avoiding any sort of rhizome disease in these guys. Okay guys, I just did the tally of all of them. The whole row was 65. So I've got quite a few little prawns to plant, so I better get cracking. Okay, so what you can see is I've got 3 rows. So one, can't do it backwards. I'm blonde. Okay, so I've got 3 lines, and in those lines they are spaced every second block in between the netting. These will grow other rhizomes onto them. They will bunch up a bit like dahlias. They'll grow other tubers onto them, and I am going to have to split them at some point. That's not this year's job though. Well guys, I just thought I'd give you a quick little update on the polytunnel. But we're having some massive troubles here. I think this is across the world. This is not just, you know, for us, but just trying to get the plastic to go over this has proven quite a challenge, and a lot of the parts as well. So we're supposed to have a click system that comes with it. That is no longer available, so we've had to come up with other solutions. But the issue is I really need this plastic ASAP because, you know, this is my livelihood right here. So having this polytunnel finished is going to mean that I can start my season with flowers earlier. I've been planning for this for months and we've had to sell the caravan to be able to do this. Now it's just being held up. So I don't know how this is going to end. To be honest with you, I may not have this completed in time. I don't know. I'm really praying that's not the case. A bit disappointing, but this week is, I don't know, this week I've had a few things happen. It's just been a few setbacks, but it's just totally dependent on this plastic, which is so frustrating. Well guys, it's that time of the night where I catch a sunset. So thank you for joining me. It's been great to have you along, and until the next video, bye.